Hey everyone, Jessica Cheung here from CBC Vancouver. I am reporting live right now outside the Richmond Food Bank for the launch of a new community pantry. And right now we have officials right outside here, the pantry, and they are going to be doing a little reveal. We have some city officials, some provincial officials, and some representatives from the Richmond Food Bank.
All right, we are ready to reveal our community pantry.
Come on.
With
Yeah.
all the
Mr. Malcolm,
partners.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
The pantry is open.
Pantry is open. Awesome.
And full.
And full.
And full, yes. Congratulations,
Thank you.
everybody, all the partners.
Thank
So
you.
well done.
Thank you for your support all the
Make
time.
a big
Yeah.
difference to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Right, so officials are here revealing this new community pantry, which is right outside the food bank. And you know, we have a lot of representatives here from the food bank who would love to talk about the specialness of this new pantry. Right here we have our executive director of the Richmond Food Bank. And can you tell me a little bit about this pantry?
The community pantry, it's our project that is run by the Food Action in Richmond Committee, and this is an initiative that will expand our services to people in need after hours. It will hopefully get over the stigma that is associated with accessing the food bank services, and then hopefully it will also allow us to engage more community members in keeping the pantry stocked after hours. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know we have some officials over here. We have Minister Sheila Malcolmson, who has come and made some great remarks. How important is a pantry like this to a city like Richmond?
The increasing cost of food around the world has hit vulnerable people really hard. And it also is a huge challenge for places like the Richmond Food Bank to secure the food and more people in need. And so a pantry like this is just one more option for people that need to have some way to supplement, to get good nutritious food in different hours. This is just a great example of innovation in the sector under real pressure in our communities, and we're so grateful for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you know, cost of living is rising. What are you hearing from your constituents about how hard it is to really make ends meet and make services like the Richmond Food Bank such an essential service?
We've been really trying to tackle the cost of living, reducing fees, putting more money in people's pockets, increasing income assistance in BC, but at that same time, global inflation has made everything more expensive, cost of housing and cost of food especially. So that means as a government, we are stepping up more to support these locally based food serving organizations. We announced $49 million for food banks specifically just this March. This is a great example of the kind of innovation that we as a government learn from, because it's from the grassroots and is designed with people in mind.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. And so, along with the launch of this new pantry, the food bank is also doing a bit of an open house. And so some of the representatives from the food bank, I think, will be kind enough to kind of walk us through the food bank, answer some questions about how the need has really grown and how important services like this are to the city of Richmond. So let's take a look. Let's walk in here and then we'll take a look at the open house.
Welcome to our Richmond Food Bank. Hi there. Welcome to the Richmond Food Bank. We work on the choice-based model, and it allows our clients to have more dignity, and it allows them to choose the foods that they are familiar with, and it's a nice way of allowing them to choose culturally appropriate and healthy food that they are familiar with.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look around. You want to take us through some of these booths and tell us what the food bank really has to offer?
Yeah, so every time we serve anybody who is in need in Richmond, and when they come in, they are able to choose items from condiments and spices, items like rice noodles, pasta, protein, carbs, and then we have a lot of perishable items as well. A lot of times people think that food banks is just cans and packaged food, but we have, with our partnerships with our retail partners as well as our wholesale partners, as well as partnerships with a lot of farms within Richmond, we have been able to provide fresh, locally grown produce to our clients. So about 70% to 80% of the food that we are able to provide to our clients is all perishable.
Wow, that's amazing. And you know, in your experience, what do you think are the most desirable foods? What are people coming in really looking for and needing?
It is the fresh produce and of course dairy. So dairy and produce are the most popular items that we end up purchasing a lot of when our supplies run low.
Definitely. Yeah, and so for anyone who's joining us right now, we're at the Richmond Food Bank right now, here with the executive director. We're talking a little bit about the food bank and also here for the launch of a new community pantry. She's taking us around. We're having a look inside and seeing, you know, what the need is and why a service like this is so essential. So let's continue the tour. Let's walk over here.
Non-perishable side, and then just imagine tables all lined up, and then that fridge is our frozen fridge where we provide frozen meat. That is our dairy, and I will open up the fridge.
Great.
There's
Yes.
like
Let's take a look
milk.
inside.
Yeah. So milk, juice,
We see
cheese,
orange juice in there,
juice,
some
yeah.
chocolate milk even.
Yeah. And then we also have items from the deli sometimes. So yeah. So all the food and eggs, of course. So the food that we see here is mostly donated by our through our partnership with the retail stores. It's food that is either sell by today, or it's it has reached its date, right? So best before date. So what we do is we recover 364 days a year, bring in all the perishable food to us so that we are extending the shelf life of food one more day, and it is going to people in need. In 2022, we recovered close to 700,000 kilograms of food that would otherwise end up in the landfill. So that food went to all our people. As I said, 43,000 visits in 2022 alone, and the need is growing. It continues to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. And how have you seen the need growing in the past couple of years? What has that been looking like here in Richmond?
This need is unprecedented. We have never seen this kind of an increase in, at least I've been here 10 years and I've never seen the need grow so fast, so quick. And it has a lot to do with the refugee crisis that we are currently facing, as well as inflation, housing and affordability. We are also seeing a lot of our past clients, people who thought they were doing okay, they are coming back because when we are complaining, when we go to the grocery store, we are complaining. So imagine people who were struggling, it has added onto their struggles and it has made them, use the food bank services yet again.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are you hearing from staff and volunteers about how that demand has kind of impacted them?
It is quite challenging. Our staff, our volunteers, there are times when it just feels like, is it ever going to end? It is stressful. I get it, but at the same time, what drives us is the gratitude that we are seeing from our clients when they come in, and sometimes they'll say, "Oh, thank you so much for the food. If it wasn't for you, I would have gone hungry." So it's stories like those that keeps us going and keeps us to continue our work here. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that we're talking about volunteers. Is there any way that maybe we can go find one and chat with them? I see some walking over here.
Yes. So there's Margaret.
Right here, yes.
Right here. Margaret. I'm sorry.
And so just to recap for anybody who is joining our live right now, we are at the Richmond Food Bank. We're here for the launch of a new community pantry, but also for an open house to kind of look inside and see what the food bank really does and really how bad the need is here in Richmond. And we're talking about volunteers and how much of an impact it's had on them working with, you know, an increased number of clients. And here we have Margaret, who is one of the volunteers here. Heard a lot about an increase in clients coming in. What's that been like for you, and what have you been seeing here at the food bank?
Well, I don't any longer, I'm not here for distribution. I used to be, but I don't do distribution anymore. But it just means I do sorting of non-perishable goods that come in, and it means that we have to be very quick to sort them and try to get them out as fast as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you hear any stories about clients coming in, what their kind of stories are, what it's like for them having to come in and use a service like this when the need for it is really increasing by the day?
Well, I think you only have to go to the supermarket and see the cost of food. I think we all feel that it's going up tremendously. So people who are on limited budgets must find it very difficult. So I'm just pleased that we have the food bank here to help people like that.
Yeah, and for yourself, what got you to volunteer at the food bank? What started that?
To be honest, I've been here so long, I can hardly remember. I think I've been here 18 years. So we were in a different location, and a friend of mine, she was volunteering, and it was close to my home. So that's why I then looked into it. But it's changed and grown an awful lot since then.
Yeah, absolutely. And is it rewarding work? Do you find that it enriches your life?
Yes, it does. It's I've met lots of people here. Unfortunately, sometimes if you're on a set day, like I am and most people are, we don't see other volunteers. But we have a dragon boat team, so a lot of them get together, and we have socials throughout the year. So it's a very good place to volunteer.
Thank you for your time, Margaret, and chatting with us. We really appreciate that. Enjoy the food.
Thank you very much. That's what we're all about at the food bank. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so again, anyone who is joining us live, again, we are at the Richmond Food Bank. Again, here is the open house. We've got lots of people around here just enjoying some refreshments as, you know, they're opening up this food bank to see really what goes on inside, along with having these booths with some of the vendors who contribute to the food bank. And again, also opening up this new community pantry. I guess what's your messaging to residents of Richmond, people who maybe need this service or increasingly will need this service as the cost of living goes up? What's your messaging to them?
My message is to just for people to share our work and our mission, and if there's anybody in need, just so like for them to access our services if they are struggling to put food on the table, because we found out that word of mouth spreads the fastest. It's the best way of marketing, and just share our message and help people who are thinking of maybe using the food bank, but something is holding them back, just to take that first step and access, because we are here for people when they need us the most.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, this community pantry is just opened up. What's next? Are we going to see more of these pop up, or what's next for the food bank?
That is our pilot. So if this goes well, then our next step would be to have similar pantries at our community partner location. So this is a test, and we are excited that it is gonna serve the purpose that we have envisioned, and to help people who are in need of food to just come in, and it will be a secure and dignified way of accessing food when they need some food assistance.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Hajira, and thank you for chatting with us. We really appreciate it. So yeah, that's it. That's the open house for the Richmond Food Bank, along with the opening of that brand new community pantry. I'm Jessica Cheung for CBC News, and I'm signing off.